Laugh, we cry, we share the no judgment here, just love and light. You've got a place right here to stay, so take 5 and heal today. Take 5. We see Jester talking truth, dim pressure every Tuesday. Say to me now, you stay just for you. Take one, take no time. I'm here, you'll be right. Take time and I put on. She can invest in oh, you're looking for that one Lewis from August where you get pushed. Good morning. How are you? I'm okay for the time. We could have tried to take time. Yeah. Uh, this morning, son, I did it great. There are thanking you for waking us up this morning. Those who lucky Lord. But I thanking you for the most important thing, the breath to breathe of each and every one of us this morning, Lord. But I country before you, Lord, really that I could pretty much make. But I think the whole world is in your hand this morning, Lord. Lord, you make up each and every one. We are your sheep in the pasture. You know each and every one of us by our different voices. This morning, Lord, remember your children when I bring before you this hour, Lord. But I'm glad remember the two children in the home. But remember the going out and remember the coming in, remember the ups and remember the down. But I save them from shame from this great family disaster. From wickedness in high places this hour, Lord. Save them this morning, Lord. The Prime Minister I bring before you. Remember that Tony Joe be so pleased, Father, you know everything about him, Lord. Remember Prime Ministers I bring before each and every one of them, their positions as Lord. The ministers this hour, blessed Lord, take charge and control over each and every one of them. But I keep them on going wrong and unwatchful. So I help them to pray and pray the life away this hour, Lord. But I remember your children. But I remember your children this morning. Blessed Lord. Remember the entire post I bring before you. But by our police station this morning, Lord. But I look down upon them, those on duty, those out of duty. Remember the SSU I bring before you. But I've got there is time the road is rough and the road is tough for them, but with you, Jesus. And they believe in you. They will be key. Remember the RRU, Lord. Remember the wardens I bring each and every one of them before you. But I'll walk throughout the world. I bring them before you this morning, Lord. I bring our driver before you this morning. Father, each and every one of those drivers, Lord. Remember the youth drivers, Lord. Remember them, Father God. Look up on them. Do for them what they cannot do for themselves. They cannot take the one. Do for the hospital bed. You know, claim at our body. When it's day, they cry for night, and when it's night, they cry for day. Do this morning, blessed Lord. I know you are the one who is praying for them and smooth the bed for them. There is nothing you cannot do for them this hour, Lord. Do the child, but I bring before your master, you must take deliverance for each and every one of them. Just prepare yourself for the apparition table, Lord. Remember them when they were put on that table and go with them and they will with them. When they're about to come back, bring them back. Safe and sound. Those now different home, especially the home for the aged one, the home for the little children this hour, Lord. Look over each and every one of them, guide them and protect them. Bless them if thou be so pleased. For the mental home again this hour, Lord. For a young and tender planting that home. But oh God, remember the good, remember the coming in. But I help them to think the way you want them to think this hour, Lord. The prison I do for you, the image in prison. But a young and tender plant. Each and every one of them. But remember the younger one this hour, blessed Lord. Take them in charge. And the staff what's seen after them, Lord. Remember them this hour, Lord. Give them the health and the strength. But God, would I tell you about your children and you don't know. God, look over each and every one of them. Fought by the barrier, by the edges. Help them to pray. Keep them on praying ground this hour, Lord. But I remember the boat on the ocean line. bring before you. Remember the fishermen this hour, Lord, please, Lord, help them to have a catch. I want them depend on this hour, Lord. What are the other boat and the coast guard this hour? Remember the coast guard this hour, Lord. Remember the folk in that coast guard this hour, Lord. But I remember both male and female on that coast guard. Take everyone in charge. When they go in, Lord, go with them. When they remain with them. When they're about to come back, Lord, bring them back safe and sound this morning, Lord. I bring that son for you just by name and by number. But I reach out and touch that son, thanking you for help and strength and life and mercy, keeping and abiding grace. Remember whom he left behind this our Lord. Each and every one of them in that home I ask you, Lord, to bless each and every one of them. It might be small, but share the blessing unto each and every heart. Bind them together. I leave no veins with Satan could enter this our Lord. Remember, CJ, I bring before you this morning, blessed Lord. But I remember that daughter, this our Lord. But I take her in charge, she whom she left behind. Remember this our blessed Lord. But God, give her the health and give her the strength. Remember, she more, I bring before you this our Lord. But God, you knows everything. You are the maker of each and every one of your children, but a guide and protect Allah. I know you is able, Master, you can give her the brain of retainance. I know you is able, Jesus, you can easy make one smooth ship pain this hour, Lord. My God, remember that woman servant, Lord. But I'm not she alone, but each and every one of them with her, they look at, guide them and protect them, Lord. Touch not your anointed and do you profit no harm. But God, you say no weapon not come against us that prosper. But I remember that is our blessed Lord. Remember in days of mercy. Touch upon the come of here to the soul of the food. Make her what you want her to be this our Lord. Those who are working on that radio station, Lord, I bring them before you this morning. And I lift them up to you this hour, blessed Lord. To God, I know Father, you cut in and give them a problem on every bending side. Do for them what they cannot do for themselves. This hour, bind them, Lord. Like one bundle of stick that cannot be broken. Let one cry be the other one cry this hour, blessed Lord. Remember them in the days of mercy. My God and my King, what should I tell you? What you don't know about your children is our Lord. God, I thanking you for safekeeping and abiding grace. God, I thanking you for that Easter this our blessed Lord. God, I no major accident this our Lord. I am thanking you for everything this our blessed Lord. Remember my village and my people I bring before you this our Lord. Each and every one, Father, those I could mention and those I cannot mention. Remember each and every one of them this our Lord. My God and my King. As you tell the disciple to say, "Our Father which art in heaven," you say, "Holy be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from all evil. For thy is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen and amen." This is our Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you.
Amen. What
Yeah,
a powerful prayer indeed.
what you would do? What you would do? Can't do nothing, you just
Can you?
boy.
So how was your Easter holiday?
He good, but he take me inside. I go to church and I come back and I stay inside.
All right. So you did that.
What?
So you did
There's
that.
not time for everything.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, talk. I don't know where you go.
I hear you. At least thank God.
Yeah,
Thank God for so much, man. Thank God for life. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So everything's okay.
Thank you so much again, Ken.
Yeah,
So
that's
you have
the
yourself
thing.
a
Yeah,
lovely day, yeah?
same to you. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Yeah.
So there we had it, starting on the right footing, acknowledging the presence of the Almighty, throwing His blessings on this program, right? So it's yet another due. Before you could have already predict the outcome of some of the events. That is certainly not the case anymore. We have a number of islands that are giving very good account of themselves. When you talk about like the even Bermuda, St. Kitts, um, Antigua, yeah, Barbados, they did well too. St. Lucia, they're to in the mix. Grenada, yeah, the Bahamas, Trinidad had a real resurgence in how they perform in this year's Carifta Games, and they made a big difference on show. So, and I'm liking that. Yeah, he does well for the overall development, not just one country comes and just continue to just dominate and no. So you could see that athletics throughout the Caribbean is certainly on the rise. Make no bones about that. Even here in Grenada, we are definitely seeing that. And one of the things that are very much responsible for that happening is the number of clubs that have that are now existing in Grenada. That is helping make a big difference. Apart from that, A number of our athletes are doing almost year-round training. So the athletics is not just a seasonal thing anymore, right? Athletes realizing the significance of hard and dedicated training. So they find themselves doing year-round training. And once you're doing that, the only thing that is likely to happen is to improve. Yeah. So apart from that, excuse me, something I would like to highlight in the meantime before we get the show starting, trying to get some little technical things sorted out. And very soon we'll be joining my co-host, is that the River Sally Fiesta is on. Um, that is leading up to Friday the 10th of April, which climaxes with the famous River Sally Saraka. All right. So the event that kicked it off was on Saturday, and we had some wonderful young ladies that goes by the name of Clash Chic Promotions. They honored 5 members from the community of Riversali for the stunning contribution they make they made towards the development of the community and to Grenada by extension. We're speaking about people like Francis Drakes, that's Zeta. He used to be Nawasa Walker, laying pipes and fixing pipes for Nawasa for a number of years. All right, Zeta was also a referee, a GFA official. Zeta also played cricket, a former goalkeeper for Latas as well. So Zeta was honored. Also among the honored list was Gavin Charles, aka Blacks. He's currently the manager of Hard Rock. He too was honored. Gavin is a retired sergeant sergeant of the Royal Grenada Police Force. Um, he's a certified electrician. Um, yeah.
Good morning. How are
Oh
you?
my gosh, I am hearing you as if you're standing outside the door.
I am standing outside. You just open it and look out.
Oh my gosh. Um, so before we got things or we get things going, I should say, I was just trying to give a little rundown, but now with that we have you here. So we'll just get straight into it, allow you to say busy good morning to your peeps, and then we get on to it the way we normally do.
Well, my peeps, good morning to JG, Caitlin Holly Douglas, Bernadette Abraham, Coffee in the Morning, Daphne Dayton family out there in Toronto, Mary, Chance the Gamer 97, the Hill Street people, the Glean family. I'm hoping that she's still in Grenada or just that she may already take flight. Lorna Bain,
I'm
good
not sure.
morning. NP, Junior over the Grand Tongue on the Heights, good morning. Nicholas Slag, Chester Bandy David, Pat Penn family, SPW, William Pear, Buddy out there in London, England, Kathleen Ledlow, Roya Charles Alexander, Antonia Francois, Gloria Francois, Miss Aito, that's wifey Aito, Ted
Yes.
Bushes, Justin Tupman, Wendy out there in Toronto, to all the folks, the principal, the dean, the everybody under the university at the cashew tree. Carol Belfon, good morning. Sherry Belfon, Nikki Sylvester, and to all the members of the elite warriors and and the little warriors. Just it's your turn, go for it.
Yeah, well, you touched a number of people like Gordon Bushes, Richardson, Wayne, Ted, John, who's there. Spent a lot of days on the beach in Davie, man. He's taking full advantage of that. I tell you, them
Mm.
play them guys and them cooking a lot down there, man.
Mm-hmm.
Andy Moose Bartholomew, Leslie Nicholas and his wife, Mrs. Glean and family, the goodly lady should be back in Boston now. I went to visit her um, the Friday before she departed from here, and it was a pleasure, as always, to embrace the goodly lady, man, with a warm hug. You know, such a wonderful lady, Claire. Who else? The Hill Street people coming back at home here. Claire in my home. Oh, Kathy out there in London.
Mm.
Justin Tootman and family. Yeah. Good morning to you. Trisha out there in St. David's. Good morning to you. Godchild out there in Riverside. Good morning to you. Claire, that's it for now for me. Anybody else that I didn't remember now, I probably will remember during the course of the program.
Okay,
So,
that's fair enough. Fair enough. So, Olavachi Bonjourno, these are the people are online. Lorna Bain, I already said good morning to you. Let me say good morning to Celia, which is Cabino Philip. Uh, Doodle, which is Hilarion Gonpat, and all the rest of them that
yeah.
are listening. Good morning to Mackenzie. Hope all is well with you. Yep, I think that's it. Mhm.
Yes, Claire. All right. So how was your Easter?
What?
How was your Easter?
According to Billy Robbie, didn't lay any egg by me. It is just
Well,
another normal day.
Well, for me, it was kind of quiet, but I've been part of some activities, very worthwhile ventures. So, for example, River Sally Fiesta kicked off on Saturday last, and
Mm-hmm.
there was a group. There is that group that exists by the name of Clash Chick Promotions. Four wonderful ladies. They honored some people
Jester,
of the
you're
community
gone.
of
I'm
River
not hearing
Sally.
you. You're back.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
no fault of mine. My hand is in my lap.
Oh, okay. Technology.
Yes, yes. So I was saying that Classic Promotion, they honored five prominent residents of River Sally who made a stunning contribution towards the development of the community in different capacities. And that was really, really, really good. All
Mm-hmm.
right. And so the fiesta is on. I must make mention of what is being featured for this afternoon from 5 p.m. at the River Sally Government
Let
School.
me ask you: Are you
There
get
will
are
be
you
a
giving free ads, or are they paying for
no,
that
no, no,
ad?
no. I'm stopping.
Just
I'm
asking.
stopping there. Yeah, I just want to because you see, clear this one on the program. I view it as one of the most important one,
Mental
and it
health.
has to do with a community forum this afternoon, and it's based on gender violence,
Mm.
especially against women. We'll look at it in general, but it's more prevalent against women in our society more than anything else. And we
Mm-hmm.
got to get down to it, with a fine-tooth comb, and you might be amazed as to where the root cause came from. So I just want to say that based on time, I don't
Uh-huh.
think so.
Okay.
Oh,
So this morning we're going to be talking about recognizing and coping with negative emotions. And the question is, who of us that never went through something negative, and how do we cope with it? Normally, we do not cope with it very well because sometimes we try to get out of the negative position that we are in, but when we hear something that triggers it off, it comes right back. So it's something that says, how do we recognize it then? Jester, you have any thoughts on this?
how do we recognize it?
And how do we cope with it?
Well, I believe if something is affecting me negatively as far as my emotions are concerned, I will be very cognizant of it. Now, the thing is, what I believe is the underlining what there in this whole topic is coping with.
Mm.
That I believe it would be the key thing. How do you cope with it? And of course, you're the one dealt with the research. So I guess as much you probably will have some means as to how people out there should be dealing with or coping with negative emotions.
Mm. You're right about that. Because sometimes we can't cope. We try hard. And this is where most of us do the things that we're not supposed to do, like take our own life away from us when we cannot cope with things that we are facing. So it is, I always say it is a good thing for me personally to talk about what is bothering me, because if I talk about it, somebody is going to give me an advice or a listening ear, and then I'll feel better. Then if I hold it inside, then it could be detrimental to my health, like physically, mentally, and emotionally.
And I just want to make one key point here before you go on. And people that find themselves in that situation, usually they becomes very vulnerable. Some people. And what tends to happen at times, the people who they pour out that negative emotions to sometimes, they take
They betray them.
advantage of
Mhm.
it. Not just betray them, but they take advantage of the situation that person has become in as a result of the negative emotions that had affected them.
You remember, if you read the Bible, remember Job?
Yeah.
Job was going through all his trials through no fault of his. And his so called friends came to see him to offer some sort of thing to him. And in the end, they tell him it's because you do something bad. That's why God is doing that to him, which was not true. And we learn a lot and we say we have the patience of Job. But all these are things that we can do and pay attention to recognize what it is that we have to deal with and how to cope with it. So let's dig. How do you feel? Sorry, how you feel can affect your ability to carry out everyday activities, your relationships, and your overall mental health. How you react to your experiences and feelings can change over time. Emotional wellness is the ability to successfully handle life stresses and adapt to change and difficult times. Flip each card below for a checklist on how to improve your health in each area. And here are the thing. You have to build resilience. And it says people who are emotionally well, expert says, have fewer negative emotions and are able to bounce back from difficulties faster. This quality is called resilience. Learning a healthy ways to cope and how to draw from resources in your community can help you build resilience. And I'm going to take it from there that says, you always say, Jester, that Grenadians are a resilient people.
Oh,
We go
yes.
through Ivan, we go through Emily, we go through Beatrice. Is this Beatrice? No?
Mhm. I thought you'd have start from revolution
Oh, I'm talking
and
about
and
storms,
the
yeah.
de- and the demise. All that
Yes.
is part of the
COVID,
yeah,
all of this.
yeah.
And they have bounced back because we are resilient people. And that alone shows how you could build it by getting involved in your community, because not one of us can do it on our own. So as you were saying about the community in River Sally, how they are having this forum and they're doing this, it is a
Yeah.
community thing, yeah? And this is
Yes.
how we build resilience. So that's one point, how to building resilience when you're going through difficult time. The other point is reduce stress. Everyone feels stress from time to time. Stress can give you a rush of energy when it's needed most. But if stress lasts a long time, a condition known as chronic stress, those high alert changes become harmful rather than helpful. Learning healthy ways to cope with stress can also boost your resilience. You see that word come up again, resilience. So when we
Yeah.
learn to do the things like reduce stress, we all go through stress, all of us, regardless of who we are. Some of us stress because we have no money. Some of us stress because we have too much money. Some of us stress because we have no food. We have no friends. So stress comes in all different ways. So we have to find ways to reduce that stress. And learning the healthy way to do it can help us to boost resilience. The
Now,
next,
once you are a human being existing at some point in time in your lifetime, you will undergo some form of stress in
Mhm,
whatever measurement it might be in.
mhm. Like I said, every one of us go through. We are not immune to it. The next one is get quality sleep. To fit in everything we want to do in our day, we often sacrifice sleep. Hmm. But sleep affects both mental and physical health. It is vital to your well being. When you're tired, you can't function at your best. Sleep helps you think more clearly, have quicker reflexes, and focus better. Take steps to make sure you regularly get a good night's sleep. And that is so true. We all know, well, for me, if I stay up late at night or go to bed at 3 in the morning and I wake up at 7, I'm only surviving on 4 hours sleep. I feel like a zombie. I'm not sure how it affects other people, but it makes me not hungry. I don't feel right. And all kinds of things happen to me physically and mentally because I cannot function properly.
I don't know, Claire, for me, where sleep is concerned, because that theory that was given, like while we going to school and learning, they tell you you need 8 hours sleep. But
Mhm.
as I have grown, I realize I have a kind of different whole concept about that. I believe the body is about how you train it. Yeah, some people they if they sleep too much, if they sleep that kind of hours, they may not able to function as normal as how they are accustomed to. Because if they train themselves of getting, let's say, about a 5 hours sleep or a 4 hours sleep. So to me, I believe it's about how you train your body. I mean, I normally just function well on that at least a 4 hours sleep for me.
Mm. Well, sleep is something really, really important. And then again, we have to listen to our body. When mine says sleep, I sleep. I'm telling you, when mine says sleep, I sleep. I go to bed. And there are times that you're really tired and you toss and turn and so in your bed because you're too tired. And then sometimes you sleep for 10 hours and you wake up tired because your body oversleep. Like you said, some people train their body to get 4, 5 hours sleep while others get 7, 8 hours. It's different. It's all about how your body reacts to things. But I know I need a good 6 hours sleep so that I can function properly.
That's it, and I respect that.
Yep. So whatever it is, whatever works for you when it comes to sleep, you just go with it. Because there are people that works at night for 12, they start at 7 at night or 9 at night and 9 and the next day. So they work like 12 hours and they go to sleep in the day. But I firmly believe that you cannot sleep properly in the daytime because your body is not meant to sleep in the daytime because night is when people really do get a perfect rest.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
was
some
reading.
people yeah, some people you'll hear them say they cannot sleep in the day.
Mm-mm.
They really cannot sleep in the day.
I was reading something this morning where it says, "Oh, melatonin raises high at night, which is really good for us. When we sleep in the day, it reduces itself. We don't get the amount of melatonin that we need. So there is a reason why we sleep at night.
I had to break down that word for a lot of people out there. This
I don't know what you
melatonin thing,
mean.
they won't need to well to tell you this task. What? I'm sure a lot of people don't know
Everybody
what
knows
that
what
means.
melatonin is.
Everybody
Only
knows.
you that don't know.
Well, enlighten me.
Go and Google it. After Google. Melatonin is the hormone produced by the pineal gland in the brain that regulates sleep wake cycles, signaling the body when it's time to sleep. It is commonly used as a supplement to treat insomnia, jet lag, and delayed sleep phase syndrome by helping people fall asleep faster. So it's something, is the hormone that makes us sleep when we want to sleep or when our body tells us that we need to go to bed. And it
Okay.
also says that people that sleep with the TV on at night, they're reducing their melatonin. They're not getting enough so that they can function properly. So those of us who sleeps with our TV on and our cell phone all night, it is not a good thing for you.
Yeah, well, I always know it's advised that you should not be sleeping with your cell phone next to your pillow or very close, within very close proximity
But you
to
know
where
why?
you're sleeping. Yeah, because of the radiation and all them sort of thing. They claim it's very dangerous for your
And
brain.
yet,
Sure.
some of us think that we cannot do without the phone close to us. We keep it close to our head because the electromagnetic fields we get it from everywhere. But once you have it close to you, you're doing more damage to yourself than good. They're even talking about the earplugs that we walk around with.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have it plugged in our ear for all this amount of hours that we do. So it's a lot of things that we have to pay attention to that goes on that affects our body. So it says, be mindful. And what do you think being mindful mean?
Mindful. Well,
Mm-hmm.
it would be to be mindful is to have something in the uppermost part of your mind.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's the impression I get from being mindful.
Okay. So the concept of let me put the concept of mindfulness is simple. The ancient practice is about being completely aware of what's happening in the present, of all things going on inside and all that is happening around you. It means not living your life on autopilot. Becoming a more mindful person requires commitment and practice. Here are some ways to help you get you started. So it's not just about having something up there. It is about paying attention to what's going on around you and how you can deal with the situations that is coming in your life. So
Okay.
here's another one: cope with loss. When someone you love dies, your world changes. There is no right or wrong way to mourn. Although the death of a loved one can feel overwhelming, most people can make it through the grieving process with the support of family and friends. Learn healthy ways to help you through difficult times. And that is so true. We all mourn differently. When someone dies, we go through a process. Sometimes we go through it with blame. We question why this happened to this person or why this happened to me and why me, all these things. So these are different ways that we can cope with loss because everybody mourns differently. You lost your mom. A lot of people lost loved ones in their life, and it's sometimes people say with time it gets better. Maybe that is true, but in the uppermost of your mind, you never really forget that person, do you?
Of course not. And Claire, while we're on that, it's not just a loved one passing on, right? But is probably the way that they have passed on. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
And it can cause somebody to, under the grief, to change in so many different regards. So let's take, for example, that policeman that lost his daughter there. tragically from that prisoner that
Mm-hmm.
um claimed the life of that young lady, Alejandra. Alejandra led Hippolyte. So, for example, that grieving parents, you, I mean, the manner in which they lost their loved one under the circumstances clear. You just never know how, what under the grief, it might just push this gentleman to start to think,
But you
you
see,
know?
the thing about it, it's not only the parent is the number one, but the whole nation was grieving about that, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And it's still in our mind right as we speak about it, because you could recall her whole name and everything.
yeah.
So we all grieve in different ways because we're wondering, well, why? How was he let out at two so that he can do that damage to that young girl? So if you think about the parent, and they are grieving worse than the outsiders that we are.
Certainly, certainly. So that's why I say is the manner in which you
You lose
lose
someone.
your loved one. Yeah, yeah,
Because even though you have someone that is sick and you're watching them deteriorate right before your very eye, and you know sooner or later they are going to go. When they are gone, you still grieve in a different way.
yes,
It is not something that you can just switch on and switch off.
yeah. Imagine that, eh? So I see exactly where you're coming from, right? So you know you're kind of conditioning yourself because you know it's just within a matter of time, all right? And the time reach, and then the person gone, and yet still you are so much affected by just the person being has finally transitioned, much less to have a sudden death on your hand.
Hmm. Hmm. There's a say, me personally said, when someone is sick, you can actually talk to them, at least you see them. When they expire, there is no more communication, there is no more nothing. They are gone, gone, gone. And I think this is where people think back and say, oh, just yesterday or just last week or just this time I was talking to the person was here and now they are no more. So it is a process.
Yes. So as we see, death, no matter what, we clear we were born, we came here, we met it, but yet still we just cannot get used to it.
Sure, quite sure. So here's the other one: strengthen social connections. Social connections might help protect health and lengthen life. Scientists are finding that our links to others can have powerful effects on our health, both emotionally and physically. Whether with romantic partners, family, friends, neighbors, or other social connections, can influence our biological and well being. So, all that is coming about recognizing and coping with negative influences, eh?
Oh yes.
Because when you do not have anybody at all around you, or a circle of people that you can try to gain strength and connect with, you are a loner, and that can send you straight into depression.
But the next thing, Claire, sometimes I want now, it's a matter of striking a balance, yeah? Because there are some people, for their peace of mind and the normal functioning, they prefer to be like on their own, living on their own. Let's take, for example, you, right?
Excuse me.
Yeah, oh, that's the reality. That's the reality. You're accustomed living for yourself. Okay, you're living in Grenada. Is there anyone living with you?
Yes.
Oh, Storm.
Storm.
But let me
You weren't
you're playing,
expecting that, do it?
you're playing bright. I could just let the people know who Storm is. Yeah.
Well, you could. Storm and I are good. Okay, so go ahead, make your point.
So the point I'm making, right? So next thing you take somebody to live with you, And who knows, for you, that might be a big problem,
It is a big problem.
especially especially when that person start to live with you and you're seeing things like, okay, they are drinking water from the fridge, they're not filling back the bottle. Claire, we have a call coming in.
Take
We got
it.
to take that call.
Yes.
Hello, good morning.
Well, good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Good morning to the person behind that very familiar voice.
I'm sitting here on my veranda and listening to you all. Good morning, Claire.
Good morning, and how are you?
Yeah, I like the fact that you have a companion by the name of Storm.
Don't stop, go storm out.
Oh Lord. Ye- Jester, in the voice of Keith Mitchell, don't go there.
Right, tell him, please.
We do much.
But you know, you all raised two very pertinent points. One dealing with stress and the other dealing with death.
Mhm.
And as it relates to your topic this morning, negative energy. And they both create different levels, I would say, of negative energy. It is said that stress brings in a lot of complications in an individual's health. Uh, they even have related stress, prolonged stress to even cancer and all.
Mhm.
You know, so it's the important factor here is coping and what you use to deal with the negative energies that is you know associated with stress. Stress can kill you. Stress can give you a heart attack. Stress can give you kidney failure. All sorts of things they say now relates to stress. So it is a terrible negative energy, if you want to put it that way. Coping is crucial. As it relates, I'm quickly going through, as it relates to death, that is probably one of the areas that creates the largest amount of negative energy in individuals because it takes you down a rabbit hole, one that you have to maneuver at different phases because the energies that are there keeps reoccurring like waves coming at different times as you miss that person and you go through certain things remind you, you get into that negative area, and it's always the most difficult thing to pull out of as it relates to the negative energies created by it. Some instances folks have to seek professional help. Some instances folks have issues with nightmare and traumas that they even have to be placed on medication as a result of that negative energy. So it is hard to cope with, but coping is key because if you don't cope, you yourself may end up alongside that individual who you just lost. So I'm happy to hear you using those two elements to start out with to deal with on this particular topic. But I think that it also goes to you as an individual and your mindset. We all go through stress, we all go through different negative energies, and we have different ways of coping. What may work for you may not work for me. But one of the things they always say is to keep a good mind, keep a clear mind, keep a positive mind as much as you can and morning, and it is important as well as Claire indicated, have a circle of people. You don't have to have 25 people, maybe five, maybe four. Folks who are honest to you, dear to you, and will always try to encourage you and motivate you to get on the positive end of the spectrum. I don't talk.
Well, thank you so very much. Let me tell you
I
something.
just thought I would add my 2 pence and a half.
Yeah, 2 pence is great. I'm telling you right now, I am almost in tears. I'm telling you the honest truth, and thank you so
I
very
can
much.
hardly hear Claire.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you
So
so very much.
Anyway,
thank you so
let
very much, caller, for your
yes.
very, very inspiring kind of interpretation as to how you see the program going this morning.
Thank you.
Yeah, let me leave you all to your I'm listening. I'm here.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Bye bye.
Later. All right.
You know, just
Yeah.
SBW had sent some stuff there that it's just I'm crying without the tears running on my face because I'm ashamed to cry on TV for everybody to see me cry the ugly cry.
You are very emotional, you know.
Yeah,
You
I
are.
am.
Yeah,
That's who I
yeah,
am, and there's nothing that can change me from where I'm from but to now. I am always
yeah.
like this, but you know, we all lose people in our lives, eh? And at different times in our lives.
One is this, I want to box you to see if you go cry soon.
No, I'm gonna hit you back. That's for sure. I'm boxing you back. No, but
Well, Sky, that's just a light moment. No,
yes,
no way.
yes.
You know, someone like me would do something like that. When you know I
Whenever
totally against.
you might lose your mind and hit
No,
me.
no, 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 sir. That will never happen. You're joking.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I
just
might
go on.
box you. But yeah, you see, like I was saying, every one of us we deal with things differently, as the caller said. Sometimes it hits you deeper. You may lose a cousin, you may lose a friend, but you grieve harder for the friend than the cousin. You guess where I'm coming from? Because the friend had a deeper relationship with you. You
Yeah,
had
you
a
done.
different relationship with that person. And people may say,
Yeah,
well, your cousin died and you did not react that way. Your friend died and you reacted that way because you know what that friend meant to you.
yeah, because that is what I was about to tell you. It's based on the relationship.
Let me tell you something. When we lost Donna, there are days that I still think about her and you know,
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people were affected by the loss of Donna, because she used to touch, she might have had her way, but she used to touch the lives of a lot of people around. She used to help out a lot of people based on what I understand too when I dive into certain things about her. Yeah,
her
that
thing
was
on
the
mine
sort of
wasn't
feedback I got.
her thing on mine wasn't about helping me or anything. But I've known her since she was a young person when I used to teach in the preschool in fall. And I kind of grow with her in that kind of way. So when we lost her and the way we lost her, I couldn't deal with it and I still cannot deal with it. Because sometimes when I walk down the road by the fish market and she's no
Yeah,
longer there, no, I don't say anything, but something hits me so hard that I just feel off. So
yeah,
this is what I'm talking about. You could have family members that pass away, and it does not hurt you emotionally as it would a friend.
yeah.
So this is how grief and mourning takes different ways in our lives.
Hmm. What happening outside? It's right, let's go.
What happened?
You know what's happening?
No
Let's
storm.
go and clear.
Storm is hearing his mama voice.
Oh gosh, interesting.
Yes. So yes, Jester, we're talking about coping with negative emotions. But then is the thing is how we cope with it. And it's a very hard thing to do because as our caller before said, sometimes you try coping, but then somebody come and say something to you and you go right back at step one. So it's something that you always have to be working on. It is not a one shop stop at all or one stop
I,
shop.
I, you make mention somebody might come and say something to you. Yeah, and there are some people what say some very insensitive things as well. And so they put you in a worst of position of where feelings are concerned based on what they choose to tell you.
Yeah. Let's say good morning to Justin Tutman. He has joined us, Jester.
Good morning to you, Mr. Tootman.
And how is little Blue doing? So here, another point is physical wellness. Is again how we recognize negative emotions and how we cope with it. Watching what you put in your body, how much activity you get, and your weight are important for keeping your body working properly. Positive physical health habits can help decrease your stress, lower your risk of diseases, and increase your energy. Flip each card below for checklists on how to improve your health in each area. And the areas that we can do that is to get active. Shama says that right now they're proving that stress is doing a lot of things to our body. Heart attack, stroke, kidney disease, all kinds. And
High
it
blood
says that
pressure.
stress is a killer. And it's no
Yes.
joke.
Yeah, they always say that stress is a silent killer. That's how they refer to
It
it.
is. Because
Yeah.
the thing is, Jester, you have to learn to pay attention to your body. Because there are certain things that your body works a certain way. And after all of a sudden, you start feeling strange things. You start feeling different. And you start to question, what is it that is going on with my body that wasn't happening before? Mind you, we are getting older every day. But the things that you're feeling is not about age. It is about something that is stressing you out.
Yeah. Stress could never be a nice thing. Just
No?
never. And I really wish that nobody has to go to that kind of real stressful, because there are different levels of stress, eh? So
Mm-hmm.
which I definitely will understand. But for people that are under immense stress pressure, my heart goes out to them, because that could never, never be a nice situation to be in. That's why me personally, I always try to just, a lot of people say, oh, just you like to laugh. Yeah, that's working for me, honestly.
Well,
That
whatever works
really,
for
really
you,
works
whatever
for me.
floats your boat, you
I'm
sail.
telling you serious. That really works for me. I'm telling you.
The thing is, as I said, I have to talk about mine because that way I can relieve myself from having it bottled up inside of me. I don't go talking to any and anybody. I'm talking to everybody. As Shama rightly said, you have a small circle of friends that you can really talk to and know that what you say stays where it is. Then I talk to you, I talk to Sharma, I talk to this person, and then somebody goes out with it. And for one, you can't figure out who
Oh, yeah.
because you
Because
spoke
not
to
one
different set of
person you're
people.
told. Exactly.
So you have to learn to find people that you can trust. And I mean, really trust that when you say something to that person, it stays there. And not that I care, really and truly, not that I care if they go say it, because you know what, Jester? If I didn't say it, they wouldn't know it, right? But at the
Exactly.
same time, though, I am not saying something bad about somebody. I'm saying something that I am going through. And if you feel that it is okay for you to tell the world, well, I could tell the world, yes, I've been going through this, but I'm much better for it because I spoke about it. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. That's it.
Yeah, but I mean, what I'm saying is, if somebody, approach you in a matter of confidence and decide to lay that trust in you, and you decided to just go around and just betray the trust. In other words, they decide to put you in a worst of position, right? Because what you're looking for in effect is healing, right? Of the
Mhm.
negative emotions, right? And if somebody choose to do that, well, I mean, I just can't seem to understand.
Let me
You
tell
know,
you,
you
you have to
you you at the end of it all will definitely place a question mark by that at the end of that person's name. Most
as I was,
definitely. That's
what I
that's
was
what
going to
I will
tell
do.
you, you have to realize that some of us depends, or our life depends on gossip, right? So if
Yeah.
nothing great is going on in your life and my life, And then you get to know something about me because the picture you had about me before is that, oh, Claire's have it all going on. Claire shouldn't be going through this. And what? Claire's going through stress? So that is juicy news for the media. I mean, not the media, but the media. So that they can say this, so that they put down Claire. Well, I thought Claire she had it all. She was the business and the cat's meow. But even she go through certain things. But hey, we're all human and we weren't perfect. Things happen to us.
Of course, of
And it's
course.
how we cope with it again, how we cope with it. Because the people that go about and spread what you say is because they have no life. So my advice to them, get a life. As simple as that. Because if you think positive about yourself, you would not go spreading negative things about the person that spoke to you. As simple as
No,
that.
and they will know exactly what they are doing. Once they choose to do something like that, they know exactly what would be the negative impact
Mm-hmm.
of doing such. They know.
Yes,
Not
I
like
think
it
it's
will not be away.
time for us to take a break, Jester.
All right.
Grenada, get ready as Idol City Sports presents its 6th annual football ice competition. Roselle Plainfield in St. Patrick kicks off from Sunday, February 15 and ends on Saturday, 2nd May. Get ready for intense football competition. All teams will be able to register 20 players. Players must be in uniform and numbered. Registration fee, senior $400. Under 17 enters free. Cash prizes up for grabs. First place winner in the senior category will walk away with $4,000. And the first place winner in the under 17 category walks away with $1,800. Second place, $3,000. And under 17, $1,500. Individual prizes. Who will dethrone the defending champion? Ciao. All under the lights. For more information, contact Redhead at 538-7509 or Philip at 406-9580. No unauthorized vending allowed. Single game will be played on Wednesdays from 6:30 p.m. and it's doubleheader games on the weekend.
For more
Welcome
information,
to
contact
Take 5,
TV.
your mental health program with CJ and Jester. With CJ and Jester.
Grenada, get ready as Idol City Sports presents its 6th annual football ice competition. Roselle Plainfield in St. Patrick kicks off.
Welcome back, listeners and viewers, to our mental health show for Tuesday. Tuesday being the 7th of April. Look at that quick start. April. I'll shoot it off with. And today we are discussing the topic recognizing and coping with negative emotions. Claire, welcome back.
Thank you, sir. So we're going to start. I don't think a lot of people recognize how being active can help them cope with stress and negative emotion. I didn't really think, well, I move all the time. I'm a mover and a shaker. But other people thinking about not moving, they should start now because it helps you to release the stress that you're going through and the negative thoughts about how people feel or how you feel about yourself.
You know, you had a group in Grenada named Movers and Shakers. Yeah, I remember that.
Movers and Shakers, yeah.
Movers and Shakers.
You got to move and you got to shake, you know. It says sedentary behavior has been linked to many medical problems. Moving more and sitting less can have major health benefits. Experts recommended adults get at least 150 minutes, 2.5 hours of moderate physical activity a week. You can benefit from even a little activity at a time. Every minute counts when it comes to movement. So you see, we sit there sometimes. Even our watch tells us it's time to stand or time to move, because movement is really important for our health, physically and also mentally. Someone writes, I compartmentalize, well, let me say that word, compartmentalize my mind and occasionally open those compartments and address the underlying issues one by one. As we say before, you deal with it the best way you know how. If you could tell, you could do it yourself. But if you're doing it yourself and you're not getting anywhere, then we have a problem. If you're taking it one by one and there is someone that you can talk to and know that you are getting the answer that you need, then compartmentalize.
We have a call coming in, so let's
Right
take that
ahead.
call. Good morning. Hello. Seems that we have lost that caller. Unfortunately, I urge that caller to call back. Sorry that we lost that caller. So, Claire, you can go back to your trend of thought.
Yeah, I'm saying this is the person that wrote that they compartmentalize.
Claire, it seems as if we have the person on the line. Good
Okay, go
morning.
ahead.
Hey, good morning, Jester. Good morning, Claire.
Good
Oh, my
morning. How are you?
goodness.
How are you guys doing? How was your Easter?
Well, my Easter was a bit quiet, although I was a part of certain activities. Yeah, but
All
because generally speaking, it was a bit quiet. Yeah, I didn't
all
go
right.
on all this picnicking and all that like many Grenadians do at Easter time. Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, that's good. I'm not hearing from my good friend Claire. How are you, Claire?
I am good. I'm coping.
I'm hearing Claire very low, very low. But last week I missed your show. I listened to it and it was amazing. I wish I had an opportunity to call and contribute to it. But today, your program today is very timely because, as we all, the weekend was here, everybody was out and about doing things, and we back to reality of work. So we have to get ourselves back into the mental space of dealing with all the stuff that goes along with work. Your caller before spoke about dealing with the negative effect of, bad news, deaths, and stuff like that. Um, but I think your program, what you're trying to get everybody to understand, is to look at your negative thoughts and how to manage it. Am I correct with that?
Correct. Recognizing it. Yeah.
Yes. Um, well, for me, sometimes you find yourself in a rut whereby you're thinking of things you want to do is not going the way you want to go with it, and you start spiraling down and down and down, and the negative thoughts keeps flooding in. And for me, what I try to do is to stop and address the thought. You understand? For instance, if you want to do something, let's just take a quick example. You want to purchase a car and you apply for the loan and you're waiting to get their approval. And you say, well, are they going to give it? Are they not going to give it to me? Will I be able to afford it? Am I really stretching myself too thin? All those thoughts keeps flooding back into your mind. And what you need to do is find some ways to check yourself and stop and say, is this really valid? You submitted all the information, you have submitted it, it's good information, it's going to be approved. Maybe it's just slow. The people have so much to process. So you need to stop for a second and give yourself that minute and say, hey, is this thought really and truly valid? Is this what's going on? And if you don't know, you need to stop thinking about it and then be proactive and stop asking questions. Call the bank. Is this thing being approved when you think it's going to be approved? Instead of you just saying, "Oh, I'm not going to get it," and all these other things that goes along with it. So for me, as sometimes I get anxious. All of us do it. And you have to start doing some breathing techniques. Like you inhale, count for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Not that fast, but slowly, and then exhale slowly. So you slow down your breathing rate. Your heart rate would now start to decrease. All the anxiety start being pushed to one side, and then your brain start functioning and is this really true? Is what I'm thinking, is that facts? Or is that just my brain taking me to a place I don't want to be? Yeah. So, for me, a lot of these things is, you know, finding ways of coping and not letting yourself go into that space where you don't want to be. um, depression, anxiety, all these things are real. And, for us as humans, we really have to find a way of dealing with them. Otherwise, they can overwhelm us very quickly. And then we find ourselves in some dark spaces that, can bring us into some very negative thoughts, places we don't even want to be. And I think we really and truly have to take stock of ourselves sometimes and look at it and understand where we are.
Yep.
Yeah,
Thank you
surely.
so very
And
much.
you make a very important point there. The way you use the example to go to get a loan, and then you start dwelling on the negative thought of not getting it. That is what will stress you. Why not? And if you being optimistic, that is what will comfort you, Claire. You understand? So it was a very, very important point realizing from his contribution. Are you still there, sir?
Yes, I'm still here. I'm still here.
Invitation for you for later on. I would like to invite you to come up to the River Sally School in St. Patrick for 5 o'clock, where we have that discussion of gender-based violence. There will be a panelist of 5 there. Bishop Dave King would be there, Claude Douglas would be there, Senator the Honorable Gloria Thomas would be there. A hierarchy, I think, from the Royal Grenada Police Force would be there. And there is someone else that I just missed out on. But
Okay.
yeah, I think it would be very, very interesting. And knowing somebody like you, I believe that that will speak volume for you being a part of this whole exercise this afternoon.
Well, this afternoon that's taking place.
Yes, this afternoon at 5 at the River.
Okay. Oh, all right. Well, let me be honest with you. I would not be able to make that. That is not inside of my schedule today. I wouldn't be able to make that on a preempt situation. But I was in your neighborhood on the weekend. I was there Sunday evening. They had a big bingo and all of that stuff. I was at that visiting one of my relatives' home, not too far from your area.
Well, you got stopped around by the bingo. I was the person calling out the bingo numbers.
I heard you. I heard you loud and clear. Not clear on the other side, but I heard you loud and clear.
Pun intended.
Right. So, I'm continue listening to the program. If I have something to contribute, I'll call back.
No
Thank you
problem.
so very much.
All right, guys.
I hope I did not cut your trend of thought.
No, you did not. You did not. And I'm, very intrigued. But like I said, last week's program, I really, really, like I said, I listened to it and said, wow, that's one to have been able to contribute to, because as you know, where mental health and men is concerned, I'm very concerned about that. And I'm really happy to hear that you guys took another program to address it. And I'm happy to hear that. Thank you guys for doing that. I appreciate it.
Great.
Thank you so very
have
much.
a wonderful day.
Okay.
You have a great
Bye-bye.
wonderful afternoon too. And Claire, lovely to hear you and see you also. Take good
Thank
care
you.
of yourself.
All right.
And it's okay to be emotional, Claire.
Yeah, I know. It's just that one don't want me to cry.
All right. But
Bye-bye.
your good friend Jester is trying to be a tough nut, but we all know all nuts can be cracked. So
Exactly.
we'll work on him still.
Oh,
Thank
yes.
you.
All right. Lovely.
Bye-bye.
All right, take care.
Bye.
So
Yeah.
just said if the program will never ever be the same without my good friend, our good friend, Mr. Nicholas Snag, and his point, and SBW, and then Lorna is going to be coming up right after.
What? I mean, you spoke to Lorna already?
No, I did not. But I know Lorna.
Okay.
Yes. So the next part of it, where it says get active, and this is an important part because Nicholas just called, and he moves. He's a mover and shaker also. And a lot of people don't realize that movement really save our lives. They would look at it and say, "Oh, maybe I should go for a walk." And then you see some of us walk as though they're coating. They're just walking around slowly. Nothing inside you is moving. You got to go brisk. If they said do 30 minutes of walking, 30 minutes of brisk movement so that all your organs and so can get going. You can feel that you're doing something. And in that way, you will be able to cope with negative things that comes your way. Because hear that, your happy hormones is going to be playing all around you and make you feel better about yourself.
Because I always believe that physical activity should be one daily diet. Yeah.
Gloria Franco has checked in. Good morning to you and hope all is well with you. You have to just, people always say to you, well, me, oh, you exercise all the time, you're going to still dead. And I said, yes, but I'm going to die a healthy death. You know, because I am. Yeah. Well, but there's no lie. I work out. It's a fact. I eat healthy. I try to get enough sleep. I'm going to die a healthy death. Because let me tell you something. I don't believe that if I get sick in my bed, whether it's Storm or somebody should be able to lift me out from my bed without straining all the muscles in their body and breaking their neck and their arms. You understand? I stay the way I stay the way I am for a reason. So that I wouldn't give anybody any torture when I'm sitting there or lying on my bed. So I'm trying to die the healthy death. I'm not afraid of dying, as I say. I sick and I dead, so be it. But you have to move. Movement causes you to be a better, healthier person.
Locomotion.
Yes.
Oh, they have been stated in songs, even Let's Get Physical from Olivia Newton-John.
Let's get physical.
Yeah.
Let's get physical.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know it, man.
Of course I know it. And there's the other point. It says, mental your muscle. Building muscle helps keep up the activities you enjoy at any stage of your life. Some types of strength training keep your bones healthy too. Experts recommend strength training activities for all the major muscle groups 2 or more days a week for adults and 3 for kids and teens or children and teens. So if you lose your muscle mass, Jester, you're getting weaker and weaker. And there comes a time you won't be able to sit on your own, stand on your own, or walk. There are a lot of us that has pains in our body.
Because it's you to lose shape too, Clay. Because it's you to lose shape.
If you had a nice Coca-Cola figure, all of a sudden you're becoming like a box. Because everything, your muscle and your fat become very good friend. They're not letting go of each other, and that's it. But to maintain your muscle mass, you gotta move. You gotta build something. It is said that every year we lose 5% of our muscle mass. And think about it, if we do not move, where do you think we'll end up? And those of us that have pain in our knees, our back, and shoulders and stuff, if you give up for that pain, you will lose the battle. You got to continue to strengthen your knees, your back, your shoulders by doing stretches. And you don't even have to get those dumbbells or anything, just you can use your own body weight to strengthen your muscles.
A lot of the times too, people that tend to come and suffer with pain and thing in the knees and things because of the extra weight they start putting on in their life.
That could be true, but the accidents and so can cause it too.
Because many of them who go to doctors, and first thing doctors ask them to lose weight, you put them on a diet.
But then again, we have to realize that not everybody body type can be small. There are people that are naturally muscular. husky looking. They have weight because of their genes and stuff. So some of them cannot help themselves with the size that they have.
Yeah.
And then again, you have some people that has thyroid problem. We have hyper and hypo. The hypo makes you put on weight, and then that because it's slow. The hypo one makes you look like skinny as a rake. So there are different kinds of stuff that causes people to have weight that hurts their knees. But at the
Yeah.
same
But
time,
that is understood. But yeah, those what how we call, we did a topic about them the eating again. What
the
eating?
obesity or the seafood
No,
seafood
the
diet.
other, when you just eat, you had a word for it. We did that topic
I'll
already
call it
too.
the seafood diet. You seafood and you just eat. You never
No,
stop.
no man, not the word.
Well, you should
Is
learn
it
know the word.
is it veg eating or something?
Binge,
I can't
binge,
remember
binge eating.
that. Right, that
But
that.
binge,
Yes,
but binge eating is different. I can binge it if I want to. I can just eat everything in sight for one day and that's it. I binge it. Or I binge drink. You see alcohol and you find, well, okay, I have to leave all that alcohol here that is free and go home. So I binge drink. I drink all the alcohol my body can take. So it's the same binge eating and binge drinking. But there's a different kind of eating again that people have on a seafood diet. You seafood and you just eat it.
Oh, that what you mean? Because when you say seafood, I thought you
No, I
talking
didn't talking
proteins
about
and
crabs
things
and
from the
lobster.
sea. Yes, now I got you.
Yes. You're on the seafood diet. You just seafood
Yeah,
and you just eat because you see it. It's
yeah.
not that you're hungry or anything. You just eat. So there are a lot of ways in which you can combat negative situation and how you cope with it. So the next one is find a healthy weight. You see, it comes together with maintaining your muscle and finding a healthy weight. And don't get me wrong, as I said before, a lot of people can't control their weight because they were born this way, right? But for you to find a healthy weight, all you have to do, it is easy for me to say that because I maintain my weight. But you have to start eating differently. Sometimes I love bread. I really love bread and I love rice. And I don't think anybody could take away this from my diet for me. But at the same time, as much as I love bread and as much as I love rice, I measure my rice when I'm eating it. And people may
Okay.
think, well, how do you measure your rice? A cup of rice, right? An open faced sandwich. So if you measure your rice, your plate is supposed to be 70% veggies, 30% protein, and 10% carbs. Is it 70, 20, 30? 70, 20, 10. That's 100. You have a balanced diet, right? So you cannot be like some of those that say, oh, I'm not eating starch. I'm not eating carbs. Before you know it, you look like a spirit. And then when you start to eat, you eat double the amount of what you had eaten before. So you
Yeah.
have to balance it in veggies. You can eat as much vegetables as you want and eat to be filled, not full. Because sometimes you eat and you're full and you have the food in front of you and you still feel that I got to eat it because it's in my plate. Eat. And once you feel that your stomach you're satisfied, just stop. So this is way of maintaining a healthy weight. By
Okay.
not eating everything you see inside and not eating a lot of the same thing over and over. You got to balance it. Anybody
Yeah.
think that I'm not saying what is true, you can
No,
call.
but I want to give you a high grade for that explanation. First time you really passed my exam in that regards in
At
your
least I
explanation.
passed.
To all this. Okay. You did well in explaining that to our listeners and viewers.
I didn't go to school for break alone, you know.
Don't spoil it, no man. I give you a nice compliment, Claire. You don't want me to take it back, yeah? Okay.
Yes. Okay, I take it. I'm going to salute you. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Yes, so protein is important for you to eat. Also starch, or which is carbs, and veggies. I know veggies is expensive, Jester, but there are a lot of stuff that we can eat that we don't have to spend a lot of money for that is going to be beneficial for us. Callaloo, eggplant, vegan blogger, that all come under vegetables, yes? Or provision or whatever it is. Lettuce, cabbage, we can find all of this. And there are so many ways that you can do this stuff that you can enjoy eating it. So some people say, oh, I don't like cabbage. Oh, I don't like this and I don't like that. There are a lot of things I don't like, but when I put them together under my culinary skills, they taste really good. And I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like me.
What about you?
What do you?
I'm just asking.
I did some celery rice just yesterday, man. That tasted so good. Oh my
What did
gosh.
you put in it besides celery and rice?
Well, first of all, I make sure I use up my bun like garlic and my onions and thing, and then I will chop up my celery, a good bit of celery, and I put some olive oil and allow it to burn and
Well,
cook up
I'm
some
happy that you
saltfish
took
meat,
the
Claire.
I'm happy that you
Oh
took the
my
cooking
gosh,
lessons
Claire.
from me.
Claire, stop it. Don't let me tell you that.
Of course. Well, I can whip up anything by my yard. You know that.
No, but on a serious note, that went on so well because the thing is, you don't accustom getting that type of food from the normal Grenadian to the people. You understand? They tend to offer in a much different way or fashion. So, man, that went on so well.
I was talking to someone here a couple of days ago, and you never buy a meal back in Grenada, and there's not a slab of macaroni pie on your plate.
Yeah, we believe we are of the concept that that's nice food, macaroni pie, And then the thing is, your macaroni pie, you still will have potato salad with all the mayonnaise in it, and then you still will find some chow mein, some kind of man. I tell
So
you,
this
and
is
we
where
think that real nice food. That's the whole thing about us.
so
And
this
that
is
is the
where I
killer
said
foods.
70% vegetable, 20% protein, 10% carbs for your balance. Because I know for a fact, the way everybody talks about oil dung and eating oil dung, don't get me wrong. I love oil dung just as everybody else, but I'm just going to have it once a year. Because once you eat that, it stand up inside my belly like a stone. I can't digest anything. I can't eat anything else. And that is the same thing about me and food.
I normally say I could eat it once quarterly.
Oh, once a year. No more. No. This
Once
is
quarterly,
heavy. This is heavy food.
Yes.
And let me tell you
It's
something.
really heavy.
When you train your body to eat healthy, anything else you put that is not, you feel the effects of it. From me personally, that's what happens to me. So I'm not interfering the oil down. And if I don't buy food out, and when I see macaroni pie on my plate, it's on the coleslaw and not the coleslaw, the potato salad and the chow mein and all that, and hardly any veggies, that turns me off more than anything else. So that's why I cook my own food at home.
Well, as far as I'm concerned with about food, I've been to a number of big congresses already, in FIFA congresses, and the thing is, you'll see maybe about 25 silver thing line up clear, and what I eat will only come from about 3 or 4. Because certainly I don't experiment with food much.
I know.
No. I don't experiment with food much at all.
Let me just say good morning
Cheers.
to Carol Belfon. I forgot to say good morning to her this morning. She's always on the live. Thank you so much for checking in again, as usual. So, Jester, I don't know if you know, but food can stress us out also, eh?
Yeah. In what way?
Because
Could you explain?
I'm going to explain. When I'm home and I cook and I eat, I'm fine. If I have to go out and stay out for the whole day, from the time I leave home, I start thinking of what is it that I'm going to be eating today that is healthy for me, and that stresses me out.
Yeah.
So it can
Oh,
that can cause food can cause stress on you also. And when I go to the place that I'm not going back, that was a stress too.
yeah. Claire, the thing is, you're right about that in truth, because it happened to me like on Saturday. I went to work and I somebody bought food for me, and then I started eating the food, but then I saw something, and man, some slight thing will just turn me off, and I was really really hungry because I not like I had taken breakfast and all them things. And the thing is, I did not continue eating that food because I tell myself, no way, Jester, I don't want to get sick.
I understand.
So yeah, I did not start eating much from the food yet. And when I see what I saw in that thing there, I thought, nah,
Mm-hmm.
nah,
Yeah, food
just
stresses me out, and that's why I buy healthy snacks now, like those bars. I'm not, and I put it in my bag. So when I'm out and I get hungry, I'll just grab one and eat it. Have a bottle of water, and I'm good until I get back home. So
yeah,
I've learned to know how to cope with the stress of eating out, or being hungry and not having anything to eat. So I prepare myself when I'm going out so that I'll have a bar, have a bottle of water, and I'm good for a few hours
yeah,
because I
just
don't
like
want to be stressed out.
yeah, just like me, especially around like carnival and when you have certain activities. What you will find me buying is maybe just a packet of nut and I drink my water or whatever. But to go and buy this what is be offering at times, I'm scared. I'm
Mhm.
really scared. I'm
And
telling you.
and all that way is how we can cope with negative emotions too. Because somebody might see me, or you might see me and know how healthy I eat, and I decide, oh, I'm going to have a burger today. And in my mind, I already know that it's not something that I want to really eat, but I'm going to eat it.
Mhm.
And then you pop
Yeah.
up and you say, Claire, you having a burger? What's happening to you? No, stress take me because I'm like, why is it I'm eating trying to eat what I want, and why is it telling me that I should not be eating the burger that I buy? So even that again, code, that's negative now because you're making me feel as though I shouldn't eat a burger if I feel like eating a burger.
Yeah.
So how do I cope
And
with that? I'll
and
cope and I tell you,
already
mind your business.
you start eating the burger, but on a question,
Yes.
you
So
not a
that is
fuss.
another stress.
Yeah. Yeah.
So here's another thing. It says recognizing and coping with negative emotions. And here's the point it says recognizing and coping with negative emotion is a crucial aspect of emotional wellness. Here are some strategies to help manage these feelings. And here's one of the strategies. Acknowledge your emotion. Recognize that negative emotions are common and valid. Acknowledge them without judgment. So don't judge yourself if you're feeling that negative things are coming to you the forefront. As Nicholas says, you go to the bank and you apply for a loan and you start attacking yourself. When is the bank going to give me the money? Do they think that I'm okay to get it? Would they really, really give it to me, or would they? You start judging yourself now, thinking, well, I'm not good enough to get a loan, and that's the wrong thing that we do. We're sabotaging our own self.
Yeah, Claire, here's an interesting comment I'm seeing there on the line. Cabrino Philip.
Mm-hmm.
Coping is to practice what you preach.
Yes,
Isn't that interesting? Yeah.
it is. So if okay, you're in a relationship, like you have a wife or you have a husband, and something is going on with you, or something is going on with me. and you're telling me, oh, Claire, you got to deal with it this way, and you got to take time to do it that way, but you are not doing it. That is practicing what you preach. If you're doing the same thing that you're advising me to do,
Yeah.
so you can't tell me to do it and you're not doing it yourself and expect me to cope when I'm seeing the other side of what you're not doing. You see, I love my girl. My girl is good. Morning, baby girl. How are you? Yes. So you got to learn to cope and practice what you preach. So you tell your children, do as I say and not as I do. This is you're not practicing what you preach, because if you're telling me when you put the dishes in the sink and there's nothing, then wash it, leave the sink clean. But I would come around, do the same thing that I'm asking you not to do, and expect you to do it. I'm not practicing what I preach.
Well, these things and they might have been adhered to in the 50s and 60s and things, not in this modern era.
Meaning what? Explain.
Meaning that you cannot be telling children things to do and you for yourself are not doing it. Trust me, you'll find yourself under immense pressure. I can tell you that for sure.
Are you checking the phone? Because Lorna said she's calling and she's not seeing it.
We just get a call per minute.
Okay, go ahead.
Good morning. Claire?
Yes.
Maybe she may have to try again.
Lorna, try again and see if he comes through, because she's been trying. Yes. So let's see if she's going to call again. Or if not, Jester, just redial the number. Yeah? Is it coming through?
Trying to access. Good morning.
It's ringing now. Is it not? Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Bane.
How are you?
I'm good. Sorry that you have to see so much trouble to connect, but here we are.
That's okay. Good morning, Claire.
Good morning, and how are
you? As usual,
you?
a very timely topic, because we all, at some point or the other, would have like negative emotions. But I think the step with dealing with it means, first of all, we have to acknowledge it, we have to accept it, and then we have to process it. So how do we process it? Now, what I find that sometimes you have to challenge your negative emotions, because you might be thinking that one thing is one way, and that's not what it is in actuality, because you do not have all the facts. So you have to process it by questioning it. Am I thinking or feeling the right way? And another way of dealing with it is to focus on the present. Because if we go back to the past, we'll all find something in our life that will trigger us with negative emotion. Now, I'm also thinking of coping when somebody dies, because that one takes time to heal, because there are different stages of grief. So this one, it will take time for you to process that one and come to a point where you can think of that person and think of them with fond memories, or even smile about things that would have happened with that person if they were close to you. Mm-hmm. So sometimes we have to let the emotion exist without fighting it. Then another thing too, we have to pause before acting, because if we act on impulse, we will find out that, again, we may just be worsening the situation instead of making it go away in a natural way. So we have to allow ourselves to respond thoughtfully, and that might be at a later time. And another thing that I find good is to practice self-compassion. Sometimes we are too hard on ourselves. So we have to understand that negative emotions are common human reactions. So we have to be gentle with ourselves and avoid self-judgment. Because sometimes we are very hard on ourselves and we just make the situation worse. So it's something that we all will go through at some point in our life. Is just finding ways of dealing with it, accepting it, and processing it so that we come out better on the other end than going into despair. So that's my contribution for today.
Well, thank you so very
Thank you
much.
so very much. Very valuable.
Okay, then. Yeah.
Bye.
Okay. So talk to you. You too. Okay. Bye.
Yes.
Yes,
See,
Claire.
I told you she was coming.
Yeah.
Yes. So you,
Well, you know,
the top that where it says acknowledge your emotions. You saw she brought up that we have to acknowledge what it is that we are going through, figure it out, and then we can make the different changes to make our lives better.
talk
It
to
also,
yourself.
yes, it also so to trigger, identify trigger, understand what causes your negative emotions, and avoid situations that trigger them. Practice self-care. Engage in activities that promote relaxation and well-being, such as exercise, spending time in nature, or pursuing hobbies. Here's a big one: seek support. Don't hesitate to reach out to friends, family, or mental health professionals for support and guidance. We spoke about it early, where you have a small group of people, you're subtle, that you can really talk to them and get it out on from your chest what it is that what you're going through. It says, cultivate a positive mindset, reframe negative thoughts, practice gratitude, and focus on solutions rather than problems. Lorna also touched on that. By implementing these strategies, you can better manage your negative emotions and improve your overall emotional well being. So, these are things that we can do to try to cope with the negative things that are taking place in our lives. So, we come to caregivers. And caregivers are not only people that look after their parents, you have caregivers for your children, your loved ones, like your husband, your wife, your friends. We can be caregivers to all of these people. So it says caregivers experience a variety of emotions in relation to their caregiving responsibility. Many of these are negative emotions. They make us feel bad, sap our energy, and lower our self esteem. Examples of some of these negative emotions may include anger, and that is no lie. Sometimes you get angry at the people that you look after, the people that you take care of. And anger is a strong feeling of annoyance, displeasure, or hostility. So all of that play a big part in how we respond to the negative behavior and how we cope with it. Another one is emptiness, a state of containing nothing. And sometimes you feel really empty inside, like you don't know what is going on. There's nothing you can do to fill that void that is going on in your life. Frustration. Frustration is a feeling of annoyance, dissatisfaction of or anger resulting from being hindered. And this is a big one. Let me put it this way. If you're taking care of someone and you spend your whole time, your whole being looking after that one person, there's something going on outside, there's some activities that you think that you want to go to or attend, guess what? Because you're looking after that person or persons, you cannot go. So you're feeling hindered. And that's where the frustration comes in. Inadequacy, a state of being insufficient, deficient, or not good enough to meet expectations or requirements. So that again is a negative way that we can think that we are not adequate enough to do certain things or to achieve certain things. And how can we cope with that? Helplessness.
So we have another call coming in.
Go
Let's see if
ahead.
we can get that call. Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning and welcome to the program.
Thank you. Hi, CJ. Hi, Jester. Good
Good
morning.
morning. How are you?
How are you? Hi,
Go right
thank you.
ahead.
Right ahead. I wanted to allude to the point that Claire made, what she read just now regarding caregivers having to care for others, and there might be an activity that person wants to attend, and I'm good time. For example, when I had my first son and I was his primary caregiver, right? I had my first son, and everywhere I went, I took him with me because I understood that I needed to have a social life. I needed to socialize. I didn't want, some people would have children and it would, for want of a better term, they would say, this child pin them down. But I did not allow that. I said, this is my son, and he came into my life. I love him. But he has to also fit into my life just as I have to fit into his life. And so I would make provisions for him and I would take him with me everywhere I went. And I had a second son and the same thing followed suit. So I would take them with me everywhere I go and I would make accommodations for them. And if I have to be in certain forums, I would say, hey, I have my son with me and I am his primary caregiver. His dad is unavailable. You know, I would explain to them and I would let them fit in and so that I can be a part of the not all, but most of them that I can be a part of. And that also helps me at my mental state, being a first time mom and being a parent.
Mm.
Mm.
Thank you so
Yeah,
very
thank you
much.
so very
Thank you so very much for your contribution.
much. You're welcome.
Yeah. So Claire, from based on what that caller just said, right? With she taking her children along with her, that to her is a bit of that less stress,
Yeah,
because at least
because
your
she's
children
is
are
there.
right around you. You
Hmm.
understand? So
Hmm.
you don't tell yourself you're putting any stress on yourself. You might be wondering, like if you left your children with someone else, what they might be doing now, would that person will be able to have that sort of anger management that they don't take it out on your children? You understand what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
that in itself is a good move with she taking her children along with her because they are right there and then right around her so that she could give the necessary attention to and feel comfortable with herself because her children is around her.
There's a point she made that he's in her life and she's in his life. They come as a package, and
Yeah.
that's it. So there's no
But
hindrance there.
I just want to ask something because there are certain jobs that I believe some people they don't give enough thought to what it entails before they go and accept the job. So, for example, like having to do in the caregiver kind of job where you have to look after elderly folks.
Hmm.
And I know that job can be very tough in the sense that it's not easy to deal with some of these elderly people. In a lot of ways, they do insult you. They do say and do something to embarrass you. Sometimes they spit out things from the mouth. They do all sorts of things. And
Hmm.
you as a person, you are getting into that industry. Were you mentally prepared? Do you have this sort of temperament to deal with this sort of job? And I believe some people they don't give this thing enough thought and they don't have this sort of they don't condition themselves enough to get into this job. So you find that sometimes they do the anger get over them and they take it out on some of these elderly people.
You want me to answer that for you?
Yeah, you can give your thoughts on it.
Then the days gone by when people used to look after people out of compassion and empathy, and they do a good job of looking after somebody's like a caregiver. Those days have gone by. Because right now, the majority of them, and I'm listen what the words that I'm saying, the majority of them are in it for the money. Not because they really care about the person that they are looking after. They know at the end of the month they're going to get a paycheck, and that's it. And the minute amount of them that are the really good caregivers, they do not get recognized enough for it.
Yeah.
If you look around, a lot of people, you go to hospitals, you go to homes, you go to different places, and you hear the same complaint. They are not looking after my mother. They're not looking after my husband. They're not looking after this. And that's why a lot of people end up with bed sores, because they're lying there and nobody's really taking the time to care for them the way they ought to. So a majority of them are in it for the money, whether it's babysitting, caring for the elders, and even in jobs that are not, that they do not have to care for other people, more than care for the work that they're doing. They're not doing it. They're not doing it out of the of empathy or anything of that. They're doing it because they are getting a paycheck.
You might be right about that. But they have to be very careful these days because guess what? There are a lot of hidden cameras in establishing places nowadays. So a lot of them sometimes they might think they get away with it, but they don't really get away with it. You know? Yeah.
Somebody made a comment here, says sometimes we dwell on the bad that something did to us or someone did to us. Instead, we should be thinking of the good. We should try to maintain a positive mind at all times. And that is one way of coping with things. Don't go back into the, don't go to the back, don't go into the past. Because if we go to the past all the time, we'll never be able to think positive about it, because the bad thing is always going to be riding our back and making us think that everything is not A-okay with us. And that is a valid point.
I believe we are touched on that on the show, yeah, in many regards, because, for example, that could come linked directly back to forgiveness, actually. And we all know what forgiveness is, the benefit it is to the person that is doing the forgiving of one who have wronged them, you know?
We are almost at the end of our program. So let me say this. Recognize that these are common human reactions. It's okay to have the feelings. Forgive yourself. Take responsibility for your own feelings. Words are powerful and can harness that power to change our emotional state. When we are feeling down, we need to train ourselves to use our words to improve and even transform our situation rather than merely describe it. For instance, if you're feeling disappointed, you can choose to say, I'm going to try again. I'm going to be successful this time around. This will make you feel much more empowered than if you use words as a tool to describe your situation. I failed. I'm just not cut out for this. It takes discipline and practice in order for us to cultivate this habit. But it is vital if we want to exert our will over our emotion. Try to identify the source of your feeling. Avoid toxic people. And again, avoid toxic people. They say that they were the average of 5 people we spend most of our time with. If we're constantly hanging out with grumpy, discouraging, angry people, we will eventually become like them. It is difficult to be in control of your emotions when we spend a lot of time with people who push our buttons in the wrong way. Express your emotions to others and let them know how difficult things are for you. Watch out for hooks. Hooks are things that others do or say in order to manipulate us. They are what others use to get certain reactions from us, to get us off center, and to use us. We are usually vulnerable to these hooks because they strike us in areas where we are sensitive. Trust your judgment. Avoid self-blame. Stay away from toxic people. Understand that overcoming negative feeling is not a once and for all attainment. They can return. So even though you're going through negative things and you get off the bandwagon, you can jump back on and try to cope with whatever it is that you're living with. Here's a last comment. Caregiving requires having empathy for the ones that you are taking care of. Understanding that sometimes, if they're able, they will do better.
That's the thing. Understand what I'm saying? So if these people who they are taking care of, if they was in a position to do better, they would have done better. So you know, display this hostile sort of behavior towards them, you know. Yeah.
Well, just so
Sometimes
sometimes we are not sick and we behave badly. And we expect people to accept us because, as again, we are humans and things happen. So think about those that are lying in bed and going through the emotions. We have to learn to be patient like Job
oh yes.
and do the things that is right.
Because some of them start going senile and, you know, being
Have
senile
dementia,
sometimes.
yeah.
You go and come, you know, and so,
Yeah.
yeah. But Claire, it was another wonderful program this Tuesday morning, Tuesday being the 7th of April, 2026. I tell you, I enjoy this program so much. And many of our listeners and viewers out there, I'm pretty sure that they are feeling the way just as I felt.
I'd like to say thank you so much to each and every one of you that checked in. What a wonderful thing that technology can do. I am sitting in the Big Apple, and here we are still having our program because I think it's important that we bring up points that can make us think and know that there are different things that we can do to make our lives better. So we'll continue to bring stuff or bring topics that can benefit each and every one of us. I'd like to say thank you to our technician, Dougal, MP, and to you, Jester, for being there and taking control of. You are the master control right now. So thank you so much. And over, everybody. Love you guys.
All right. So, listeners and viewers, thank you so very much for taking the time off to listen another wonderful program. And we do look forward to your presence next week, Tuesday, where we endeavor to have you another interesting topic. My name, Jester Noel, for those that are not very familiar, and my co-host been Claire Joseph. Bye.
AKA CJ. Wake up.
Brand new day. Got some things I need to say. Feeling heavy and don't take 5, you're in this. Voices come, what's the care? Two good friends always there. The sunlight in your face and hope you're sure to find. We'll take her. See
With
you,
CJ and
Jester.
Jester.
Talking truth. Take the pressure. Every Tuesday, you're holding space just for you. Take it back, take your time. We're here, you're in the place. Take fire, you're not alone. See the Jester, bring you home. It's okay to not be okay. Let's talk it out, don't drift away. Mental health it matters most, so come in close and raise a toast to the ones who fight each day, to the silent